So for those of you who don't know, it's the 6-month mount. It's the Lunar New Year, Chinese New Year, right? And as is traditional, and this has happened for like, 4 years now, I think. As is traditional, we get a mount because they make it for the Chinese market, because they take that kind of thing really seriously over there. And, they've got this model then, so they basically put it on the store for Westerners, but also give it free as a 6-month sub. So if you're subbed and you have a 6-month sub, you get this free. You can buy it on the store separately for $25, I guess. So you can get it that way. Or, because of the existence of the WoW token, whatever, like, undeniably bad things also happen because of the WoW token, but you can also buy it with in-game gold. Now, nothing will ever top the pig mount. That was the first one, and the pig mount is legitimately one of the best mounts in the game. For some reason, I thought it would be transparent. Yeah, it looked a bit more transparent in the pictures. Oribos isn't a great place to showcase it because it's got weird lighting, Oribos. I can't get on with squeakers. I don't like the animation. It makes me feel weird. But it is made of water, and it does drip water. It's got a really cool mount special. Now, I would like everything in the game, preferably with cool like quests or dropping from bosses or things like that. There's an argument that making gold is a legitimate way to play the game without doing anything else. Like, traditionally, loads of people have done that in WoW. They play the game just to play the auction house and just to make gold and stuff like that. So there's an argument that any store mount is essentially a very mild gold sink mount. There's an argument for that. It's an argument that I can't really deny, but I still don't fucking like it. You know? I think I can probably guess Asmon's take on this mount, because, like, even if he doesn't really care anymore, which I think he probably doesn't, now that he plays Final Fantasy XIV so much, he probably doesn't really care. But he can't just turn around and say that he doesn't care, right? He's kind of, like, contractually obligated to have a bit of a rant about it, right? Yeah, exactly. And, you know, we've all got our thing. Imagine if I just stopped doing shit shows on the weekly reset. You can't just stop doing your thing, right? It's not my favorite of the Lunar New Year mounts. So I used to be ethically against store mounts. I used to be moralistically against store mounts because I didn't believe that in a game where I pay a sub and buy expansions, I didn't believe that anything should cost me more money. I didn't think anything should be behind a barrier of more money, and there was no other way to get it. Everything that is in the game should be available in the game. Now, that argument doesn't stand up anymore, because whatever else is bad about store mounts, and there's still plenty which is bad about store mounts, in my opinion, then what about paying for zero content? I mean, a separate argument, right? I mean, you're not wrong, but it's not relevant to this conversation. The fact is, you can get this mount in-game. So my moralistic and ethical objection to store mounts just doesn't count anymore. However, that doesn't mean I have to like store mounts. Doesn't mean I have to fucking like them. And I don't. However, I'm not going to go around spitting on people because that's just a fucking arsehole move. And I think most people have chilled out a bit when it comes to store mounts because of Final Fantasy XIV now. My endgame, like Asmon's, is mount collecting, not raiding, not dungeons, not PvP. So do you hate the spider mount and the longboy as well? I don't hate store mounts. Okay, so what's your objection to it? I guess I'm just trying to understand a different point of view. And yeah, these will cost you about... how much is a WoW token on my server right now? 290. So yeah, it's going to cost you about 600,000, which is like considerably less than the spider or the longboy. The store mounts are S tier mounts and you buy them with gold. It's like buying mythic gear with 2k gold, 200k gold. So do you think there shouldn't be an auction house? Like, do you see like gold earning as a bad thing in the game? I guess I think gold earning is a good thing in the game. So why not have mounts that you pay gold for? I don't really understand. What offends you about mounts that cost gold if you think earning gold is a legitimate and good thing to do? I hate the store. I'm all up for having new reasons to hate the store, honestly. So I'm not like, at the moment you can officially buy gold in a paid plus subscription game. Anything you can do, you can buy with gold becomes kind of shitty. Yeah, the ideal scenario is that, you know, there's no store, because then there'd be more of an argument against the WoW token, because you wouldn't need the WoW token to allow you to buy stuff from the store with gold. Being able to buy stuff from the store with gold and pay for your subscription with gold is objectively consumer friendly and good. If you play this game a lot and you make a lot of gold, you can play this game for free. It's as simple as that. It devalues the achievements diffed out in game. Why? How does it devalue any of your achievements? How does this mount existing devalue a mount that I am proud of, like this one? If anything, it adds more value to my achievement mounts, in my opinion. You obviously disagree. It does if you talk about prestige. Yeah, but like, so the reason I like the Hippo mount is A, because only Alliance players can use it. B, it was time sensitive. So before, you literally couldn't buy it for a while. Also, I love how it looks. I think it's brilliant. But also, I had to do something to get this mount that I'd never done in-game before. I had to go and get myself a rating in PvP, which I'd never done before, and I had to then get a certain amount of wins in 2s and 3s, which I'd never done before. So this mount, apart from the fact that it looks fucking awesome, and I think it's the best looking mount in the game, apart from that, I think one of the reasons I'm so attached to this mount is because I'm genuinely proud of what I did to get it. And I know that when people see me riding it, they know what I had to do to get it. And that, for me, is the definition of a prestige mount. The existence of a mount that you need 0 prestige or achievement to get doesn't devalue my achievement. In fact, the more mounts there are that aren't connected to achievements, it just makes the ones that are connected to achievements all the more noticeable and all the more recognizable. Does that make sense? Yes, but I disagree. Just to be clear here, you think that the existence of the Spectral Tiger mount literally devalues my achievement in getting the hippo. Is that what you're saying? Yes. Well, I have to say I completely disagree with you. If that's genuinely your take, I have to say I strongly disagree with you. I don't think it devalues my achievement at all. That specific mount, maybe not. Okay, what mount would you say you can get from the store that does devalue my achievement in getting this mount? Silverian Dreamer. Okay, well, I've got that too. So just to be clear, because I don't want to misrepresent you, okay? I don't want to misrepresent you at all. But you think that the existence of this mount here devalues my achievement in getting the hippo. I'm just trying to establish your position here so we can be on like an equal footing. Your achievement in getting the hippo is not that valuable to begin with. Okay, that's not answering my question. I consider this hippo to have value, and I value it as one of my favorite achievements that I've ever done in game. I'm asking you, does the existence of this mount devalue my hippo and the achievement that I did to do it? Even if you don't think it's a very good achievement in the first place, and you put it quite down there, does the existence of the Syrian Dreamer put it even further down? Does it devalue it? Okay, then yes, the Silverian Dreamer, the Tiger, they all devalue your mount. Okay, why? Because I have to say that at the moment, I 100% disagree with you. Because they all have as good or better quality. But why does that devalue my achievement? Why does that devalue my achievement? Why does another mount looking subjectively better in your opinion, because I also disagree with you that they look better, because fuck you, nothing looks better than my hippo. Why do they devalue my achievement in getting the hippo? And I'm trying to understand. I'm not trying to like destroy your asshole with facts and logic here. I'm not being this guy, okay? Like at the moment I strongly disagree with you, and I'm just trying to work out why I'm wrong, put it that way. Rather than having unique mounts given as rewards, for example, the Tiger and the Silverian Dreamer. Also, distributing the Silverian Dreamer as a store mount means during the X-Pack, it will never be given as a reward for in-game achievements, okay? It sounds like you're making an argument that store mounts are better aesthetically than in-game mounts. Fine, I can go with that. I don't necessarily agree with you, but for the sake of argument, I will agree with you. What I'm asking is the original thing, which is what this conversation I thought was about. How does that devalue the prestige of a mount that you got from an achievement? Because for me, the main thing about an achievement mount is that I'm proud that I did the achievement, and that mount represents it. So the mount is not unimportant, but is secondary in importance to it being recognizable as representing that achievement. Does that make sense? Because that's where the prestige comes from. The prestige comes from, I would say that Silverian Dreamer is obviously better looking than a gladiator mount from like Mists. I would say there's 0 prestige connected to this mount, no? Prestige doesn't equal looking good. No, I completely disagree. If there was a brown belt, which was the only brown belt in the game, and the only way you could get it was by being a fucking badass, and only one person could have it, that would be the most prestigious belt in the game, even if it looked like shit. Saying that store mounts are pretty does not devalue the prestige of achievement mounts, in my opinion. Your hippo mount is not prestigious, it's not hard to get, it's aesthetically pleasing. No, I feel prestige when I ride this mount. Absolutely. You saying that you don't consider my hippo to be prestigious, and yet me feeling prestige of having it anyway, proves my point, not yours. I take genuine pride in this mount precisely because of what I had to do to get it. Likewise with the Longboy. And even if they looked like shit, I would still be exactly as proud to have them. The thing that I'm proud of is not how they look. Even now that everyone can buy it, apparently only 3% of people have this mount. And I would count that as pretty prestigious. How they look is important for mounts. Yeah, of course it is. For like, you know, the aesthetic pleasure they give you. Of course, no one's arguing that. But you were talking specifically about how store mounts devalue prestige from mounts. And that's the thing I'm disagreeing with you on. I don't disagree with you that obviously it's nice when mounts look good, right? Your arguments so far that I've seen for why store mounts devalue the prestige of achievement mounts is that A, they look good, and B, your hippo's not even all that prestigious though, Tali. And when I see people going around on Silverian Dreamer, and I see people going around on the Tiger, I don't think, oh, the prestige from my hippo is now worth less. I'm even more proud of my hippo now because I didn't just buy it from a store. And that's what I mean when I say, honestly, I think store mounts literally add value to my achievements that I've done for various mounts because they are the opposite. So we agree, prestige is derived from in-game achievements and is independent of aesthetic. Yeah, we agree. Because now that's what you're saying. I'm trying to get around to your point with the latter. No, please do. Like, I'm sorry. I'm clowning because I'm a streamer and that's what I do, okay? But this isn't personal. Honestly, it's not personal. Like, I stand to be convinced. I apologize because that was a bit out of order. That was a silly joke. I'm sorry. Is it bad that they use models that are completely unique and you can't get mounts that look like this anywhere in the game without buying them? Well, again, I do agree with that. So the aesthetic is important in a prestige item only insofar as you can tell what it is. It doesn't have to look good to have the prestige, because the prestige comes from the achievement, not from the actual look of the thing, right? I've been listening while I work out. All right, Deacons, humble brag. It sounds like the lad's argument is that the existence of store mounts and the existence of recolors are related. We get more recolors in game to put more unique mounts in the store. I could buy that as an argument, but I don't see the evidence of it. Obviously, it's nice if they look baller. I think that would be nice, but that's not where the prestige comes from. Okay? So in a conversation about does the existence of store mounts devalue the prestige of my achievements, I don't believe that's right, because I don't think it does. In fact, the more store mounts I see riding around Ouroboros, the more proud I am of my prestige mounts. And we both agree on that now. Good, because that's literally the only argument we were having. So I'm glad that you agree with me now. So I guess I'll ask the same question again of everyone. Give me some arguments against the store. What do you think is shit about it? I don't like paying more money for stuff. I'd rather everything was in game, and I know it technically is. With the WoW token and being able to buy stuff in the store for gold. So I'm not as angry about it as I used to be, but I just basically don't like it on a purely emotional level. And I'm willing to accept that my dislike for the mount store is based more on emotion than logic. I'm allowed to dislike it, but I don't have to argue it because I'm willing to accept that it's an emotional argument that I have. Being based on emotion is as relevant as being based in logic. Yeah, but also I'm not going to get into like a logical debate about it because I have no other reason than I just don't really like it. I used to have a reason. I used to have a logical reason why I disliked it, but that's not a reason anymore because of the WoW token, right? So now it's just a general distaste for like out of game transactions. But my emotional distaste for the mount store does not extend to other people's use of the mount store. I never did anyway, by the way, even when I was like ethically opposed to it, but especially not now. If someone wants to buy shit from the mount store, that's no fucking business of mine. And I'm happy for them. I also think, by the way, that I agree with John Jagger. I think that an emotional distaste for the mount store is more than enough reason to dislike the mount store. You don't have to have a logical argument. It doesn't matter. Just disliking it is more than enough. And so that's why I get a bit sad when I see people trying to have a logical argument when they clearly don't really have one. And the saddest thing of all is seeing people that have made like a personality out of hating the WoW store now trying to think of some bullshit logical reason why it's okay that they like the Final Fantasy XIV store but still don't like the WoW store. That's the saddest thing for me. It's like, just fucking say you hate the WoW store and you don't mind the Final Fantasy XIV store. It's fine. I won't judge you for it. There's nothing wrong with liking the 14 store and hating the WoW store, but you don't have to be right. It's okay for that to be purely based on emotion. You don't have to be correct. You shouldn't have to like argue the point and be objectively correct. Just fucking say you like one, you don't like the other, or you hate them both, or you like them both. That's good enough reason. The internet has poisoned all fucking discourse into having to be objectively fucking right about everything. And it's bullshit. You don't have to be objectively right to dislike the Mount Store. You don't have to be objectively right to like the Mount Store. You don't have to be objectively right to boycott a game. You don't have to be objectively right not to boycott a game. You don't have to be objectively right to not like a game. You don't have to be objectively right to like a game. Just like what you fucking like because you've had an emotional reaction to it, and that's absolutely fine. It's a fucking video game. It's not important. It's important to me. It's how I pay my rent. The problem with having to be objectively right about everything, and so having to find objectively correct reasons why I should, like, I dislike this game. So what are the objective reasons why I dislike this game? Or I like this game. What are the objective reasons that I like this game? That's stupid anyway, but it becomes dangerous because if you have to be objectively right in disliking a video game, what does that mean for people who like it? It means they have to be objectively wrong. And if someone is objectively wrong about something and refuses to listen to your objectively right reasons why they are wrong to like that game, then eventually that person who is denying your objective facts becomes a bad person in your eyes. If you have to have objective, like, correct reasons to play or not like a game, then eventually the people that disagree with you and like the thing that you don't like or dislike the thing that you like, eventually in your head they become bad people. Because they must be. How else could they deny the objective fact that this game is bad? It's okay just to have an emotional reaction to things and to recognize that for what it is. So that's what I think about the Mount Store. I want to talk about one last thing. I want to talk about flying.